T-minus 1 minute.
What?
More juice for the gyro.
Like the juice.
T-minus 50 seconds.
At the point where we're at, it is a lot easier for new people to get up to speed really quick.
T-minus 40 seconds.
Let's go. That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight?
T-minus 30 seconds.
Rick Hill taking over our camera. I think there may be a penalty for excessive celebration, but you know what? I'm going to let that one slide.
T-minus 20 seconds.
That's what I'm talking about. How y'all fun?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Take a deep
4,
breath.
3,
This is it, right
2,
here.
1, 0.
Whoa, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Football Card Quest. I'm your host, Andy Kaysen. We are officially halfway through the NFL season, and it's time to do a little reflection, a little prediction. As you notice, my guy from Chicago, Steve, the Hitman Caladesi, not here right now, man. Having some internet issues. Justin Fields' mania has gotten so crazy, it broke his internet in Chicago. But that's okay. We got him covered. We're going to do another live stream later in the week with Steve. If you can't join us tonight, I want to answer you guys' questions here live on the stream. What's up, Orlando, Chad, CH, Derek, Hard Jim Ball, Jets Crazy. What's good, man? How about them Jets? Yeah, we're going to check in on the injury status of Josh Allen tonight after the Jets got a hold of him over the weekend. We're going to talk about 5 players to look at adding that are viable in over 50% of fantasy football leagues right now. We're going to talk about if they make good card investments, whether it's quick flips or long-term investments. We're going to chop that up. We're going to go through the latest injury report. We're also going to look at my initial favorite picks for this upcoming slate here in week 10, just looking at it initially, and potential players to buy at the end. So action-packed live stream for you guys tonight. You guys know what to do. Let's dig in. All right, let me go ahead and share this screen. Go ahead and get screen 2 pulled up. Why does it feel so late, guys? Hold on a minute. You guys have kids. I know Jets Crazy's got kids out there. If you guys have kids and you know what I'm talking about, it feels like I'm literally going live at midnight right now or close to it because of this whole daylight savings time. We got to figure out a way to get this fixed. Was that on today's ballot? Because I should definitely have gone and voted because that needs to be fixed, right? I mean, this is crazy. If you got kids, then you really feel the effects of it. It's getting dark so early, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But back to football business. We're gonna get Steve back on here later in the week. I know you guys are missing Steve. We're gonna chop it up. So first thing I want to share with you, piece of intel. Looking at the market report over here on our Keep 'em Graded Football Cards web app, you can see this is the graded football cards sold report from eBay. And look at this buy it now trend here. I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit to blow it up, because what we're seeing is a buy it now trend week over week of 849. That was today. That's 11/8. That is today. 849 graded football cards sold in a buy it now format compared to 1,343 in auction. That's an all-time high going back to September 12th, guys, going back to the very beginning of the season. You see 812 there. And when I look at the actual names, what is leading most of that is Justin Fields. Of course, you got Jalen Hurts now at the top, the only undefeated team left in the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles looking absolutely complete top to bottom. Is it going to be a NFC championship game between the Eagles and the Vikings, guys? Let me hear you in the comments. Eagles, Vikings, NFC championship game prediction possibility right there. And I hate to say it because, I'm a lifelong Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, but they are not looking too hot right now, even though Brady did finally get a game-winning drive, get a little win there over the anemic Rams. Oh, man. But look at this. Look at this. Justin Fields, 292 graded football cards sold in the past week. That's a 140% increase. And you know what's interesting is Justin Fields is available. I heard this on PFF podcast earlier. Justin Fields is still currently available in about 50% of ESPN fantasy football leagues. I'm sure you guys all have him rostered. He has been playing at the level of a QB1 for several weeks. And you can see that he's now popping on the most sold graded cards chart here. There's his base Donruss, a positive trend of almost 40%. His base Prism, a positive trend of 43%. So he's the first player I want to look at because he wasn't on my top 10. And that's because, the Bears aren't exactly holding a great record. I mean, they're doing okay, but they're doing a lot better than expected, especially from a performance standpoint. But they're still 3-6, right? They're still 3-6, so he's not getting the bonuses from the wins. He doesn't exactly have a playoff projection right now. But just being tied with the Packers at 3-6, I guess you could say, is a very interesting turn of events. Derek Richards says the Bears suck. Orlando said, I still believe Tom and the Buccaneers can make it. Wow, I appreciate that vote of confidence, Orlando. You are the man. You are the man. Yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about the Cowboys tonight. They're another team that's in there. CH says they will find a way to the NFC title game. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Bill, wait a minute. Hold on, Jets. Got to go to this. Billy says, FYI, we don't have daylight saving times. He's in Canada, and it sucks because half the year we're on time with everyone else, but the other half of the year we are off. Jay Stanton says, what about Jalen Green? Okay. And Derek says, nobody is beating the Dolphins. And we will definitely be talking about the AFC because the AFC East is just ripe with stiff competition. We're definitely going to be looking at the AFC teams. I love this comment here. The Dolphins are fierce right now. That offense is sick. Added Bradley Chubb. Yeah, man. Justin Fields literally had to scramble for almost 200 rushing yards in this past Sunday and still wasn't able to get the job done against the Miami Dolphins. But very interesting. Just from sheer performance, you can see how well Justin Fields is playing. I mean, they've got to, and the thing is, I'll go ahead and share with you guys, I think, what is the most favorable matchup this weekend. And that is the Bears against the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions still have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. And you wouldn't know it because they just picked off Rodgers twice in the red zone and beat the Green Bay Packers in their own house. And I think some people could see that coming. Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers, have definitely just torpedoed off a cliff this year. Matt Murray says, what's the most underpriced Justin Fields mosaic card? All right, I see your question here, CH. We'll get to that. I'm going to star it up. Justin Fields is on topic, though. So, yeah, we're talking about sports cards, but definitely not anything non-football, Jay. It's all football all day here, brother. All football cards all day. So if you enjoy football cards, you enjoy fantasy football, NFL gambling, the whole 9 yards, DFS, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed. All right, so let's go pop over to eBay here. And let's pull up 2021 Justin Fields. And let's take a gander and see what's ending tonight. And yeah, we're going to go and sort by 2021 Justin Fields, and we're going to go auction ending soonest because typically what Steve and I do here on the Quest Tuesday night live stream on the Cardwire live stream, we like to get in some live sniping opportunities, and I guarantee you we will find some mosaic here on the eBays. So yeah, you're going to still find these base cards, right? A lot of 2021 product out there, a lot of it, guys. So Justin Fields got approximately 5,000 different rookie cards. A lot of those are going to be base Prism, base rookies and stars, even though that's a Trevor Lawrence, base Chronicles, Luminance, base Prism, even the Prism, pink Prism here, non-serial numbered, you can see that it's just not getting the bites. Now, if this had a cracked ice look to it or a wave design to it, it would get a few more bites. But this person started their auction at $29.99. Just too much supply for Fields for it to sell at that price point. It's too much supply, man. The die cuts also don't do quite as well as the cards that have a full rectangular cardboard's worth of material. But yeah, okay, so base optic there, 15 minutes. Here's some nice mosaic stuff. Yellow reactive, so $20. You can see no bids left on this one, non-serial numbered. Here's an orange reactive PSA 10 color match, but the guy starts his auction off at $250. Just not going to get, you're not going to pull in the bigger fish that way, because the likelihood of the Bears making the playoffs are not high, and a lot of what's driving the Bears purchases here are going to be Bears collectors. They're also going to be people just looking to get a piece of Justin Fields' ascension here as just an elite QB producer, dual threat quarterback, looking like the best quarterback from the 2021 draft class. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a chance it could go up, right? They've got to match against the Detroit Lions. But what I'm saying is there's so much supply that the supply is going to have to be exhausted at these current price levels, and of all these base cards, for the base cards, the non-serial number cards, to go up more in value, which could happen after another big week. Let's say he goes out against the Detroit Lions this upcoming week and puts up another 45, 50 fantasy point week, and this time they get the win. And I think that's going to go a long way, right? Because let's say the Green Bay Packers go out and lose again. Well, all of a sudden you've got the Bears in second place in the NFC North. It's a little bit different story there, plus the win, plus just another game. And it always takes the hobby a little bit more time to react. And so then now all of a sudden you start seeing more and more base cards sell when that supply dwindles and the demand is still very high. Well, that leads to a clear price increase. And so that's what we could see. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Mosaic. It's definitely like on the hierarchy of sets demanded, in my opinion. I would put Mosaic like probably fifth. I would definitely put Prism, Optic. I would even put some Select. I wouldn't put all Select over Mosaic. I'd say like the base Select, like the Concourse and probably the Premier, I would put as equivalent as Mosaic, but I would put definitely Contenders, rookie ticket autos above Mosaic, and definitely Prism and Optic, and probably even base Donruss. I would say base Donruss with a rated rookie logo, because the rated rookie logo is really iconic. So I would definitely be putting that up there as well. Ian Book, I was about to say, no, that's a good deal. See, we got a serial number, but no, it's an Ian Book. So yeah, man, there's just a ton of low-end base stuff, Justin Fields. Here's an 8 out of 25 XR RPA. I'm not crazy about XR. XR is definitely a lower demanded set in terms of liquidity, but you do have obviously an autograph on this, albeit sticker, and you do have a serial number here, 08 out of 25, and some decent color match. Now you got this big old plain patch that's not going to be from any specific game or event, right? I mean, we get lucky these days if we get, let's see what it says. The enclosed authentic memorabilia is not from any specific game or event. The autograph is guaranteed by Panini. So it doesn't even indicate that it was player worn. Like, they didn't even put the enclosed authentic memorabilia is player worn / used, but not from any specific game or event. So they really just said this is just a random patch of fabric in this card. I mean, that's what it could be. That's literally what it could be. They could have, snuck this from bought some random Bears cheapest jersey you could find from Fanatics and then cut it up and put in this card with that kind of verbiage on the back. So people got some bids on this. You got 21 watchers, 10 bids. This is the kind of card you're going to find a pretty highly demanded sweet spot here for Fields. What about this 2021 Gala? Like, Gala is not a set you see ever. Like, in fact, I don't know that I've ever even heard of Gala before. Here you've got a Panini Gala, 6 out of 8, but these are the factors that make it highly demanded. Low serial numbered, very exotic looking design, but you got this massive rookies text over here on the right, RC Shield on the top right. Got the full like silhouetted kind of what's that? Dynagon. Dynagon makes pictures like this, like action picture that have the background removed, that have the highlight around the player, and then you've got this. The photo was taken from right there, and you got 28 bids on this card already. 177.50. I'd have to do more research into Panini Gala. I'm curious if you guys have any feedback. Obviously, I mean, it's got to be hobby only. It's got to be a pretty new set. I just can't. That's stumping me because I normally don't come across any sets that I haven't seen before or heard of. That's a new one, man. That Panini Gala is definitely a new one. Stuff like these 2021 Metal Universe is going to be something from Sage or Leaf or something like that. Definitely want to stick with licensed cards, especially for a 2021 rookie that already has, 5,000 plus different rookie cards out, so take that into consideration when you're shopping for Justin Fields potentially. Obsidian's a really nice set from 2021. So check this out. This one's got one bid ending in 48 minutes, currently $249, 9 watchers. But look at that nice little area they made for the autograph. That looks cool. It's like a cave with a bunch of spikes in there for the sticker. Got the autograph, got some nice color match orange, got all that etching and cool lines. Full body photograph there on the right. Fields about to throw the ball. Got the RC Shield, but still plain single color patch, which is definitely going to hold this card back. Serial number on the back, which is something interesting that Carter and I talked about earlier today that'll come out on YouTube on Thursday. Or, of course, guys, if you care about the show, I know a lot of you guys are already patrons, but we do have certain benefits, actually quite a few benefits from being a patron over at patreon.com/footballcards. So check it out. And that's one of them. Carter and I record Tuesday morning. That comes out Thursday on YouTube, but we put that up early on Patreon. It gives me time to edit it. They get the raw, uncut version there. And then you also get the web app and the Discord and the giveaways and the articles that I put out and all that kind of good stuff. This card is interesting. I was actually looking at this. The enclosed authentic memorabilia is not from any specific game or event. So, again, we have no clue, probably not even from the Panini Rookie Premier event. Wild. Okay, this one's a good one because this one's super popular. 0 bids here, $400, Prism Silver Auto, no bites, absolute giant patch. National Treasures, but no autograph. Notice here, National Treasures, but no autograph. That's not getting any bids because people know this patch isn't from any specific game or event. Again, guys, can't put too much stock in those patches. So here we go. Justin Fields, enclosed authentic memorabilia is not from any specific game or event. That really is a shame because they used to at least say that it was player worn, but now apparently we don't even get that very often. So moving on, guys, from Justin Fields, I had a question that I had starred up from, let's see here. What's going on? Rage 508. Galas are case hits out of Chronicles usually. Interesting. Galas are case hits out of Chronicles usually. Appreciate that info, Rage. Always coming in with the knowledge nuggets. What's going on, Chad? Bobby bought a Prism Black Silver Fields last week just for the Buckeyes aspect, but might sell now prices jumped so high. Yeah, significant demand spike for Justin Fields. The other guy that is an early benefactor of the trade deadline is Jeff Wilson Jr., talking about the Miami Dolphins. Matt Murray said, yeah, okay, so we did that one. Let's see. CH got a Tua Contenders rookie patch auto base. Should I sell or continue to hold for a bit? CH, I think you got to hold this, man. If you just bought it, chances are, you didn't get this card like at a super deep discount. Like it wasn't super cheap. You didn't get this card probably for anything under $300, I'm guessing. So I think if you're in for that amount of money, I do think you're holding it. Potentially, the Dolphins can sneak in the playoffs here. I mean, the Dolphins look very good, obviously. Offensively, defense, the secondary has not been great. Justin Fields made them look silly at times on Sunday, but I think they have potential to get better. And the offense is playing lights out. It's one of the highest scoring offenses in the NFL, right? I mean, they're only 7 points behind the Buffalo Bills in terms of points scoring, not too far behind the Kansas City Chiefs. And you see how much Patrick Mahomes throws the ball game. He's just a totally different animal. But I mean, they're right there hanging with the Ravens, the Bengals, and way ahead of so many other teams. Like the highest scoring team in the AFC South is the Jacksonville Jaguars right now with 199, right? So, and they're a couple touchdowns ahead of that. So the Dolphins are absolutely one of those teams that could easily sneak a wild card spot. We got to check on the injury status. Is it time for the injury report? Because this is huge, man. This is huge. I want to kind of jump straight to the injury report because number one is Josh Allen. Josh Allen right now pulled up lame on Sunday with an elbow injury late in this loss against the New York Jets. Initially, it was reported that he was dealing with a bruised throwing elbow. However, there's a bit more concern that he could be dealing with an ulnar collateral ligament issue. That doesn't sound good. They didn't give any updates today, and Sean McDermott said he would release a statement tomorrow after diagnosing it today. But I will tell you, talking to Bills fans, they are very, very concerned about this. And this was one of the worst games for Josh Allen, going all the way back to his rookie season. He kind of regressed back to rookie Josh Allen form with some of those passes that he made. And, right, it's not going to take an immediate hit to his rookie card stock. He may be able to get a slight discount, slight deal on some of his, base stuff ending in auction this week. Otherwise, just something very important to monitor because they're playing Minnesota Vikings this week and are currently 7-1 in the NFC North. An absolute, steam. They're like got a full head of steam right now in their season. Kirk Cousins on the airplane wearing the chains with no shirt on. I know you guys saw that. So what is good for the Bills, though, is that Case Keenum would be their backup. And back in 2017, he played with the Vikings. Keenum led them to an 11-3 record in 14 starts. So pretty good. I mean, Case Keenum is a serviceable backup quarterback. So, I expect him to compete out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even if Allen misses time. So hang in there, Bills fans. The second injury I want to talk about is Ryan Tannehill, quarterback of the Tennessee Titans, because you got to see Malik Willis once again, clearly not ready for the NFL, but looked a little bit better from his first start. Still, the offense is going to run through Derrick Henry with even some direct snaps to Derrick Henry because they just don't trust the rookie. He's clearly not ready for NFL action. He does have some really nice upside with his legs. That's the best thing he's got going for him. And I saw him make some decent passes in this game. So that's also a positive, but he's very raw, very young, very fresh out there and definitely not ready. Bills depth chart behind Case Keenum. Did they still have Jake Fromm? I'll have to check on that real quick. I really don't remember who's behind Case Keenum on the Bills. Let's check it out real quick. Let's see. Depth charts. Buffalo Bills. Matt Barkley. So no, I think Jake Fromm might be a free agent. I don't even know if he's on a team right now, to be honest with you. But let's see. Chad said Kirk without Zimmer is a gangster in khakis. Chad. That's right, man. Oh, Derek, don't be saying that, man. Don't be saying that, brother. You just freaked the crap out of all the Bills fans out in the stream tonight. So back to the Ryan Tannehill situation, though. He's still questionable. He was questionable heading in and proved to be a game time decision before Malik Willis got the start again. Malik, like I said, completed just 5 of 16 passes. Very few pass attempts and very few completions. On top of that, failed to connect with any of his wide receivers. You know it's bad when Robert Woods only has one. I think he had 1 target, 1 reception. With Tennessee set to take on the Denver Broncos in Week 10, who have one of the best, if not the best, secondaries in the NFL, besides maybe the Philadelphia Eagles. The hope is that Tannehill can return. If not, Derrick Henry is going to have to play quarterback, running back, wide receiver. The whole, he's the guy. He's the man. He's the man. Another very interesting injury to watch right now is Jonathan Taylor for the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts finally fired Frank Reich. Can I get a hallelujah? Any Colts fans out in the chat, out in the stream tonight? Can I get a hallelujah? Fired Frank Reich. But Jonathan Taylor, right? He's got this high ankle sprain. He was once again sidelined for a 3rd time. This was a 3rd time in a row, not in a row, but 3rd time this season. And it was kind of miss a game, come back, had to leave early, miss another game. So now, you know, he's going to be questionable. He's going to be week to week for probably the rest of the season. We've seen these high ankle sprains plague players for the rest of the season. Guys, this is a very difficult injury to recover from quickly. And if the player's not given adequate time, like they should probably have put him on short-term IR right out of the gate. And that would have given him the 4 weeks and then come back, right? But they tried to bring him back too early. Now it's held him back even later. So, you know, obviously we don't know what the Colts are going to look like. I mean, this is at this point, the league worst offense in the NFL is the Colts. So they don't have a play caller with any experience. Their quarterback, the signal caller, has very little experience. That's not a whole lot of fun, guys. I think Jonathan Taylor is an interesting buy low. I think he's a guy that you could actually target right now. I mentioned him last week in my targets. I still am standing by that because he's such a good, talented athlete, and he's so young that he's an incredible stash. Like if I could pick up a rookie ticket auto for Jonathan Taylor for $20, well, that was a card that was at $150, $200 right before the season started. So absolutely, the Colts at this point, think about it. Their season could tank so much from here on out that they could end up securing one of these, you know, super generational elite quarterbacks that are coming out of the college class, this next draft class. Boom, the Colts secure them one of these quarterbacks. All of a sudden, that's going to be a boost to Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor. It's going to be a boost to every single offensive skill position player on that team. So it makes sense to go ahead and stash a guy that's down and out like Jonathan Taylor right now. A very interesting situation to monitor. The other one, now this one goes the other way because we're not exactly running out to buy Deion Jackson rookie cards. I got one Sam Ehlinger rookie card. That's enough, right? That's too many. One too many. I'm stuck probably break even with that. Maybe something happens, but Ezekiel Elliott, running back for the Dallas Cowboys. I want to talk about a couple players here on the Cowboys because the Cowboys, arguably the largest market size in the NFL, one of the best defenses in the league. Micah Parsons today on Twitter calling for Odell Beckham Jr. Jerry Jones, I'm not sure if he's going to do it because he's only going to get, 3 or 4 weeks out of him plus playoff time. It makes sense. It adds some incredible talent and depth to their wide receiver core. And that would be massive for Odell Beckham Jr.'s cards. I think this is one play that has a lot more merit in it than something very speculative. This has some higher quick flip potential than a lot of the other plays that you can make in the market right now because of Odell Beckham Jr.'s fame and what he is known for and how well he's performed in the past. And let's be honest, guys, he's got more Instagram followers and more total social media followers than Tom Brady even. That's how famous Odell Beckham Jr. is. And just looking at his graded cards sold in the past month, you can see that, he's got that rookie product in Topps product, right? One of the most popular cards is his Topps. The most sold card in the past 30 days, in fact, is the Topps, then the Topps Finest, Topps Chrome Refractor, Topps Chrome Autograph facing forward. But getting a PSA 10 autograph rookie Chrome card of Odell Beckham Jr. for under $200, I mean, that is not a bad deal at all. In fact, if we go back to the February 12th, that was Super Bowl, $250 card. So that's just an indication that you want to go and dig into a guy like that further on eBay and see what's actually available ending. And let's look at the auctions. There is, there's an NFL Shield. I actually have this card of Mike Evans that I got from one of the guys in the community. That's a nice card, man. That's a really nice card. That NFL Shield. And that one's sealed too. Check that out. That's sealed at the top, 14 out of 25. You got $129.99. This guy's really trying to move this card. Let's look at the condition here. But the fact that this is sealed, that is really juicy. So, I mean, look at that card. The card looks like flawless condition. Now, the full autograph is not on the sticker. Unfortunately, that means the autograph is not going to get a 10 if you were to submit this to get graded. But I would argue, just leave this in this one-touch case and resell it like this. That is a really juicy. Plus, you've got the whole make offer thing. You've got 8 watchers on this card already. I guarantee you this card's going to sell really quick once he comes back. This is also numbered 14 out of 25. So right off the bat, I'm like, whoa, lick my chops. I mean, that's nice. I mean, that's a solid, really solid deal for Odell Beckham Jr. there. So yeah, let's go to auction ending soonest. That's not Odell Beckham. That's Amari Cooper. He's also come back from bye week this week. He's 2015 though. He's from the 2015 class. So yeah, that's way too much. Not going to get any bites on that. Look, 0 bids pretty much across the board on all this stuff right now. So this is the perfect time to strike on some Odell Beckham Jr. Here's a black refractor PSA 9. Be able to get that with the ending time at 4:29. I thought the black was serial numbered. Man, this picture is really fuzzy. Thank God it's in a slab or I would definitely be sketched out. I thought the black refractor was serial numbered. Nope, but hey, it'd be interesting. Doesn't have a reserve. Does have a 60 buy it now, but starting bid of 30. I mean, that's not a bad pickup for $30. Like if it closes right where it's at now, I'd say that's nice. Black refractors are cool. Otherwise, yeah, minus, yeah, stuff like that. You just kind of instantly go over, but boom, here we go. Platinum. Platinum is like the equivalent of Mosaic is today, I would say. But with the X Fractor design, that definitely gives it a boost. You see, it's already got 6 bids. This ends tomorrow night at 8:30. Currently 961, so super cheap. I love the X Fractor design. The X Fractor design on the Topps Chrome. This is a thick card. I will tell you, I've definitely held some Topps Platinum in my day from 2014. Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. This is a very thick card stock. It's a nice design. It looks cool, man. It's just not as popular, as widely demanded as the Topps Chrome. So we'll find it on here. I guarantee you it'll be down here a little bit. There it is. Topps Platinum X Fractor. So let's look at the current trend. Tuesday, November 8th at 10:43 a.m. There was a buy it now for $40, PSA 10. That's a population of only 67. There's only 67 PSA 10. So you can imagine that if we were to go look at the 1-year chart on this, what is this, February? Yeah. Okay. February 24th. Let's go back, see if we can confirm that. One bid. I mean, yeah, that was right after the Super Bowl, which is interesting that it only one bid saw 250. It's a little. I find that hard to believe, but at the same time, like, I guess it's possible. But that's interesting because this one says Monday, February 14th at 10:22, 50, but then this one says 250. That's odd, but I would say that where were we? The card. Totally lost it. There we go. Yeah, but at 961 right now, I don't know what it's going to end for tomorrow night, but obviously anything under, $30 or $40, you're sitting in a good, really good spot. Topps Chrome autograph. Very, very true. Matt Murray says Colts, Texans, Commanders will be looking for a QB in the draft. Very true, sir. Jets crazy. Michael Carter cards on the rise, or maybe some James Robinson. Jets, he's going crazy for those Jets players. Now's the time to get Breece Hall on the cheap. Yeah, definitely a great time to get Breece Hall on the cheap. And what's interesting is I would be cautious of buying the Breece Hall cards that are out right now. And hear me out, Jets, because I think that they're going to continue to go down a little bit more because there's new sets coming out still for Breece, right? And his market's really not going to be hyped up again until we get closer to next season. I think I could see him getting some hype throughout the draft hype cycle next off season as people are starting to speculate on the next season. And I think that that's when his hype is going to start going back up. So definitely want to buy into him this winter, like this, now probably, I would say wait a couple more weeks, like wait till the week of Thanksgiving and just like really stalk Breece Hall cards. Like look for auctions ending on Thanksgiving. Dude, I tell you, some people will end auctions on a holiday when people are spending time with their family, watching football. Some people got their radars open to some eBay listings, but I'll tell you, a lot of people don't. So the competition is going to be a lot less, if you know what I'm saying. So that is the best time from a buying perspective, I think. Plus, you got new sets like being actively released right now, kind of trickling out into the marketplace. So, yeah, man, I love that thought. I think you're going to find your best deals on Breece end of November here, all throughout December, even January. Let's say the Jet, like, I know Jets, you obviously are going to be biased about the Jets making a playoff push and this and that, but let's say the Jets get knocked out. They make it down. It's a final game, final week 18. They got to win to get in. They just don't quite make it. Zach Wilson throws a couple picks. They missed it, right? That would be a great time. Like then throughout January, they're out of the playoffs, what have you, a great time to buy Breece. I think the prices will be even better and there'll be more product to choose from and really kind of pick your position and snipe. But certainly XRCs, if you can pick up an XRC anywhere, anytime now between now and draft hype cycle of next year for like $30 or something, It's a home run play. Those will have staying power for sure. Or anything really like autograph scares, serial numbers, talk about that kind of stuff. Yeah, so you want to talk about the Raiders? The Raiders they're bad, man. Davante Adams is great. Davante Adams is great. Don't get me wrong. His cards can be had for pretty cheap right now. Go and compare Davante Adams to Mike Evans. Compare him to Odell Beckham. Compare him to these other 2014 guys. Definitely, the stock is down for Davante Adams, even though he just had a smash week, right? They still lost. They got shut out by the New Orleans Saints the week before, and I get it. Davante Adams was sick. Isn't it funny how, players don't pop up on the injury report or the, I guess you couldn't call it a wellness report. Like, they don't pop up with COVID anymore. It pops up with an illness, and there's this mysterious illness going around the league. I don't know what that is, but I just think that's funny. So yeah, I mean, great time, Matt, to potentially look at Davante Adams in terms of investing in the athlete, right? Not sure how long Josh McDaniels is going to last. They obviously need a lot of help on defense. And a lot of it is just, shooting themselves in the foot, destroying leads. Like, it's crazy, man. They're blowing so many big leads this year. And I think a lot of it's just coaching not syncing up. And yeah, man, I have picked up a nice score. Rachaad White. I'm torn about score, to be honest with you. I picked up this nice score red sticker auto here, numbered out of 2 out of 20. Red Rachaad White, who Leonard Fournette's all pissed off about today because Rachaad White took over there for a good duration of the game. What I don't like about it, Jets, is the fact that it's a very thin card, right? It's not made with a thick cardstock, and it's so easy to damage the corners and the edges on these cards. Otherwise, I like it, man. I really love the design on it. I think it's really clean and simplistic. It's almost got like this column look to it, so it's easy to tell if it's centered top to bottom, left to right. I like the design of it. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably one of my favorite years of score design, but not a fan of that super thin cardstock. But I get it. It's one of those base, like, mass-produced kind of sets, So I like the super rare red sticker autographed, and I'm good there. So back to those Cowboys we were talking about. Ezekiel Elliott. All right, Zeke sat out week 8 against the Chicago Bears with a knee injury. Tony Pollard went off for 131 yards, 3 touchdowns. And what was crazy about this, he did this on only 15 carries. Just Tony Pollard, right? Dallas now coming off a bye. Ezekiel Elliott's status for week 10 against the struggling Green Bay Packers. So Micah Parsons about to feast on some old man Rodgers this weekend. Better believe that. Zeke did not practice on Monday, so we're going to have to watch this injury report on Zeke. And I really hope that Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy hold Zeke out for another week. Like, give Zeke his full amount of time, right? We know you want Ezekiel Elliott to be your RB1, Jerry Jones. So give him an extra week or 2 to rest. He's not a spring chicken anymore. He's got a lot of miles on those tires. Give him an extra week of rest, and that will give us another week of Tony Pollard domination, right? I mean, this guy, and what's so great about investing in Tony Pollard, he's in a contract year, guys. He's in a contract year, and they can't keep both Zeke and pay Tony Pollard the money that he's going to deserve with how freaking good he's played. So he's going to go probably get a big bag of money from another team. Could be a great move. Most moves like that lead to an instant price spike in their rookie cards from the new fan base, the new collection base, and just the whole fact of what he could be as a, bell cow RB1. So you can see, like, even a card like this. I mean, this is the kind of hype that Tony Pollard's got right now. You want to talk about a guy that is close to the top of my hype index after what he did in week 8. Check out this the rookie notable here from Well, that's encased. Yeah, encased. I like those designs. It's got a nice on-card auto or this Phoenix plain patch. So see, guys, this is a great example because we can come in here and it's like, okay, plain white patch. But in 2019, we at least get the fact they say the enclosed player worn material and autographed. So, it's not it's not as much of a kick in the nuts as this patch is not from any specific game or event. You don't even mention the fact that it's player worn anymore. Like, no, players didn't even touch this jersey patch. At least in 2019, they touched the jersey, even though it was probably like he put on, 20 practice jerseys at one time at the rookie premier event while he was sipping on, pina coladas and signing cards and stuff and eating hors d'oeuvres. This ends at 4 a.m. Guys, this ends at 4 a.m. tomorrow. It's got one bid. Somebody's looking to take this down, man. Take this down. This will probably end for about 30. I'm telling you right now, I sold a Tony Pollard. What was it? It was a select silver. I sold for $20 that week 8 that he went off. Didn't quite sell my field level silver. I've got that list a little higher. But look at the man, I love the design from the rookie ticket autos. This one will be a fun one to watch. Man, I love the design of rookie ticket autos from 2019. They did such a good job on this design in 2019. Big fan, especially on the optic, because once again, it has that thick cardstock. So just a lot less corner and edge issues. Beautiful on-card autograph. Got that pulsar finish on this one. Man, this is a sick card here. I love the way they did the team logos and the rookie ticket theme on the left on this card. Currently 39 watchers, 36 bids. So you're going to pay a premium on Tony Pollard, but you better believe if Zeke sits out again and they're going up against the Green Bay Packers, so this could easily be another Tony Pollard domination game if Zeke sits again. So definitely a guy to keep your eye out for. See what you can potentially find. The options are very open right now for Tony Pollard because you have a lot less supply from 2019, and you also have a massive amount of demand right now for his rookie cards. So I love to look at something like this right here. If I could get this for under 50 or 60 bucks, I would feel really good about it. So that's a good one to watch. And some people just won't even bid and buy from Probstein because they have negative experience. But generally speaking, it's mostly positive. So Rage said on that last card, it says the only bid is some guy, Andy. That's funny. Hey, what's going on, Josh? Welcome into the stream. Appreciate that, sir. Yeah, so absolutely love the rookie ticket autos from 2019. So talking about the Green Bay Packers, man, Aaron Jones. So this presents another interesting opportunities. We know the Packers have a massive fan base. I'm still waiting for the Packers to somewhat buck the trend, but it's going to be difficult. There's several key injuries to monitor in Green Bay right now. One of those is Aaron Jones. He was one of several Packers seen in a walking boot following the ugly loss to the Detroit Lions. He suffered an ankle injury. Apparently the x-rays came back negative and he could have potentially returned to the game. So right now he's questionable for initial injury report for week 10, but just the fact that he was in a walking boot is never a good sign. So you could potentially see them hold him out. I tend to think that he may get held out, which, would be interesting for AJ Dillon. This AJ Dillon has not been really efficient since week 1. Week 1, he had a big game against the Vikings, and it was like, okay, AJ Dillon's going to continue seizing this role, more of this opportunity on the Green Bay Packers from Aaron Jones. And then just maybe a byproduct of the whole, what happened? I broke the eBay machine. Maybe a byproduct of the whole disaster that is the Green Bay Packers this year. Their lack of offensive weapons, and it's just permeating and causing problems elsewhere. And I think there's even a injury report on Rashawn Gary, if I'm not mistaken, which is one of their best defensive linemen. So Man, that would be another big hit to the Green Bay Packers. And yeah, but yeah, eBay's being a little punk right now. Can't get eBay to work. But one guy that's got to be at a super low demand right now, potentially find some great deals on. Site can be reached. Obviously, I'm still streaming. My internet's good here. eBay's just not one to play. So what do? Let's see if we can come over here. Let's pull up AJ Dillon. Look at his graded card market. See, check out what the maybe it's my internet. Let me know, guys, in the chat. Am I having I appreciate that, Orlando. Am I having any streaming issues in terms of lag? Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys see me okay? CH, how about them Chargers? Yeah, man. You know, Josh Palmer is like the definition of average, unfortunately. Very, very average in terms of his metrics. Like if you look at any of his advanced metrics, pick them. Separation against man coverage, opportunity share, average cushion, contested catch rate, just all like average, like ranks at like 30th to 40th, you know, just totally average. Your internet is stuttering a bit, not too bad, but when you speak, you can notice it. Stream is good. You just borked the bet. Walter Mahone. Mark Brom says, stream. I have a problem. David put me on mute. I really don't like it no more. Mute? I didn't know you can be mute. Walter Mahone. Let me, I may disappear for a second. I'm going to switch my network to my other network. Let's try this. All right. I'm back over here. Let's see if we can get my browser to work over here. Okay, we're back in business, y'all. We's back in business. Check that out. Thank you, CH, Walter, Mark, Billy. Y'all good. All right. AJ Dillon, total sales. Got a little trend up here, but obviously this is one thing. Like if you're on the Keep 'em app and you're noticing like, oh my gosh, look at this trend, 36% increase, 129% increase. Well, look how low it was, right? It was a $22 PSA 10, or his base Prism was an $8 PSA 10 on October 30th. Like, talk about a deal, right? I mean, getting a base Prism even, but it's a PSA 10. So you're going for those base cards. Like, get the PSA 10. Get a PSA 10 for $8. I mean, you can't even submit it for that much. I know they've got a bulk economy deal for something like $8 a card, but you still got to take their membership, the shipping, the whole 9 yards into consideration. So, and all the time, right? And there's an opportunity cost that comes with the time it takes to submit a card and get it back. 5 sales in the past month. Somebody just spent $19. So you could have doubled the $8 on the base Prism PSA 10. But we're trying to get more bang for our buck and get more money from the work that we put in, right? If you find a deal, that's why ultimately I like targeting the sweet spot of finding like more rare autograph cards of these skill position guys. Kind of reverse engineer it. Look at a guy at the top of the draft class. Look at a guy at the bottom. Kind of reverse engineer it. If there are no guys at the top of the draft class that are super hyped up right now, like Jonathan Taylor would be the guy to look at here, but he's been injured and he hasn't been living up to expectations at all this year. It's been a total disaster, disappointment. So that's when you can come over to our hype index. You can actually open the Excel. You can actually sort and filter just by 2020. So I just want to see 2020 running backs. And if I come in here and just look at 2020 running backs, I actually find out that Clyde Edwards-Helaire, in fact, has been the highest performing running back from the 2020 class, next to Eno Benjamin, believe it or not, Antonio Gibson, James Robinson, DeAndre Swift, who's missed a few games, or he would be higher. Like DeAndre Swift is so incredibly explosive. He's a guy you want to get out in front of. In fact, I'm playing DeAndre Swift this week in DFS. I love this matchup against the Chicago Bears defense. They've got now, believe it or not, a high-octane offense. I think they've unlocked a little secret here in Justin Fields. They get that running game going. Well, the running game opens up the passing game. Detroit Lions have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Believe it. In yards allowed per carry, yards allowed per pass, in average defensive DVOA, they rank in the bottom of the league, the bottom 3 teams in the league. So down there with the Houston Texans, right? So this matchup is a perfect recipe for 2 good, high-powered offenses going at it. The Bears' defense is depleted. Roquan Smith, no Robert Quinn. I mean, they're gonna be firing, man. So I'm excited about targeting that game heavily in DFS this week. And there are absolutely card plays to make off of that, like DeAndre Swift, great young, talented athlete. Look at him, super explosive because he can put up these 40, 50-point fantasy games like nobody's business. All the way down at the bottom, though, is Cam Akers, A.J. Dillon, Jonathan Taylor, and J.K. Dobbins. Cam Akers was in the coach's doghouse before that. I mean, he started off the season, like came in more hyped up. Like his best card values we've seen at Cam Akers all year was before the season started. He came down in week 4. He got a little bit of a boost, but then all of a sudden he fell all the way back down. Week 4, Cam Akers, what did he put up? He put up a few fantasy points, or was he just a byproduct of them winning? Yeah. Oh, sorry. It was week 3. Excuse me. So, yeah, week 3, he actually put up 11 fantasy points. That was the best week he had all year. And then he went into the coach's doghouse. Really hasn't played since, besides this past week where he did get a few carries. So, or not this past week. It was the week before. Sure, I can't remember, dude. The guy hasn't done anything in weeks, man. So A.J. Dillon, Jonathan Taylor, and J.K. Dobbins. So literally you're talking about comparing A.J. Dillon at this point to like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's not even the true RB1 there anymore. Like most people are pretty much come to terms with both Isaiah Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon like taking bigger roles in the offense than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You could look at potentially Eno Benjamin, but he's relegated back to second, third string now that James Conner's back. You could look at James Robinson because he is getting some nice early down work on the Jets, even though Michael Carter, he's good. We talked about before the season how Michael Carter was a really good value in fantasy and cards because of the age, the fact his college profile was good, and the fact that he was elusive. He's just not a bell cow every down running back. He just can't handle that kind of wear and tear on his body. But this is bad, man. This is bad for Jonathan Taylor, A.J. Dillon, but that also presents some really interesting opportunities to buy their cards. Good. Awesome. Love to hear that, Billy. CH. All right. Another injury to monitor, Chuba Hubbard. Still did not play last week, but it seems unreasonable to believe that he'll be able to go this week. So it looks like Deonta Foreman, but understand that Chuba Hubbard, once healthy, is going to take up at least 50 to 60% of the opportunities. I still think you're in a very nice window to potentially sell Deonta Foreman here, just from a singular player performance perspective. Obviously, the Panthers still very much on track to tank their season. PJ Walker back to being a pumpkin. That was not funny, PJ Walker fan. He's still, XFL's finest. Elijah Mitchell is coming back from IR this week and is likely to go week 10 against a Chargers team that is yielding 5.7 yards per rush on the season. But right? He's going to play second fiddle to Christian McCaffrey now in San Francisco's backfield. Christian McCaffrey, after getting the hat trick, the triple crown, whatever you want to call it, passing, running, throwing, touchdown, receiving, rushing, passing. There you go. Christian McCaffrey doing it all for the 49ers last week before their bye week. This is what I'm talking about. So the bye week gives rise to some interesting opportunities here. If we were to just look at his 2017 Prism, you can see this little cool off. Look at this cool off in over the course of the past month, right? Right here was the trade. Nice little spike, 150s, 140s, 200, and then the big performance, or maybe this was the trade right here. So this was before the trade. Then the trade goes up to 150. Then you had a reach of 200 because that was right before Halloween. And then they had the bye week this past week. So now you can see how the market kind of flattens out here. Still at 150, but they're not going to just keep climbing even though he's in the bye week. The bye week always kind of leads to this little flatten out period where you could potentially find some little micro deals, but they're not really. You basically just getting, maybe slightly less than market value because there's nothing really affecting his stock one way or the other. There's definitely going to be some people that are that understand that and that want to hunt his cards during that time period. Optic Hollow, of course, one of the most popular cards from 2017, rated rookie, thick card stock, silver prism finish, population of 178 on that PSA 10, 14 sales in the past month, currently a trend of about $192. Interesting, though, to watch. I think this is a great selling window for Christian McCaffrey. If I owned any of these cards, I would absolutely be looking to sell them on this high right now from Christian McCaffrey. I don't know how much playing time Elijah Mitchell will eat into Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if San Francisco is going to make the playoffs or how deep they're going to make the playoffs in the NFC, to be honest with you. They're still dealing with significant injuries to their defense, and that is a concern. Also, hey, man, people can argue either way for Jimmy Garoppolo, but Ryan Haslip says, you think with Travis Etienne emerging now that it will allow Trevor Lawrence to shine a little with a little pressure off of him. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Trevor Lawrence, I'll go and pull up his stats to see if he did any better this past week in terms of, his efficiency and his accuracy. But, he was bottom in the league in a lot of advanced accuracy metrics. A lot of advanced. So, I'm not sure if it really matters. I don't really see the Jaguars even making the playoffs. I see there being more question marks, if anything, by the end of the season around Trevor Lawrence. And, yeah, I'd rather buy into Travis Etienne right now because you can get an equivalent card for a fraction of the price. And that's even with Travis Etienne, his new bell cow roll. Travis Etienne's still underpriced on DraftKings. Travis Etienne's 7,100 this week's on DraftKings compared to I think Christian McCaffrey was 8,900. So I think for his role and his explosiveness, he's still underpriced on daily fantasy sites. He's probably still slightly underpriced in sports cards just because there's so much 2021 product going around. So honestly, I'd rather get a rookie ticket auto or silver prism auto Travis Etienne for what, $30, $40, and be like, that's the portion of the Jags offense that I own, and then just not even touch Trevor Lawrence to see what happens, just because there could be such a low floor. Obviously Trevor Lawrence is going to have a long leash because he's a number 1 overall draft pick and he has so much hype coming out of college. Dang, man, someone went deep in this Travis Etienne 1/1 gold vinyl here from Contenders Optic. That's pretty cool. So yeah, he's obviously hyped up. A lot of competition right now with Travis Etienne cards after how well he's been playing from a singular player performance standpoint. But if I were to look at Trevor Lawrence, that's right. Look at Trevor Lawrence. I'm telling you guys, it's late. It feels like it's so late. I feel like I'm getting up at 5 a.m. Like I'm getting up well before daylight, whereas just 2 days ago, I was getting up after daylight. You know, for me, like sleeping in is like 7 a.m. You know, I don't ever wake up to an alarm clock. My kids just wake me up. But it was like 7 a.m. But now it's 6 a.m. So like I'm literally start working an hour earlier, which is good, like from a productivity standpoint, but it also makes the day a lot longer. And I literally feel like it's like midnight right now, even though I know it's only 10 o'clock. So Trevor Lawrence, let's look at the advanced accuracy metrics here from Trevor Lawrence. Advanced accuracy. Okay, red zone accuracy 16th. That's actually gone up a little bit. Deep ball, though, number 34th. Under pressure, 20th. Clean pocket, 13th. So not terrible. That's gone up a little bit. Deep ball, catchable pass rate, number 33rd. That's only 43%. Pressured catchable pass rate, 22nd. And overall catchable pass rate, 21st. So he's had a lot of drop passes, though, so that his receivers aren't helping him out. His receivers aren't helping him out. I'm not sure who's having all the drop passes. I don't watch all the Jaguars games, so he's had the third most drop passes amongst quarterbacks right now. 19 drop passes. Who the hell's dropping all those passes on the Jaguars? Does any Jaguars fans out there in the chat know who's dropping all those passes? I know Christian Kirk had a pretty solid game. Is it Zay Jones, Marvin Jones dropping passes? I think Marvin Jones had a pretty ugly drop, right? I know Travis Etienne had a couple drops. Like he dropped a wide open touchdown at the beginning of the season that kind of led rise to a little James Robinson insurgence there. But Travis Etienne slowly took over, and then he was traded. So Derek Richards said, "Yo, mama." All right, so what am I doing? This is some great broadcasting right here, right? I didn't even get through all the injuries yet. Jamar Chase. What's going on with Jamar Chase? Oh, they placed him on injured reserve. Ruled him out for the next 4 games. All right. Well, there you go. 4 games is a very long time period for the card market. So absolutely could see some Jamar Chase cards going significantly undervalued. That's a great little spot, especially when you got Joe Mixon racking up 5 touchdowns. Although Tyler Boyd should have had one of those. That was definitely a touchdown in the corner of the end zone at the pylon. But even the referee on the broadcast, I was watching, the referee on the broadcast called it a touchdown. And they reviewed it and everything, and it still got overturned, not a touchdown. And then Joe Mixon ended up running in. So I think that, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd definitely got to be on your radars. Joe Mixon, definitely. I think the Bengals are one of the best offenses in the league. Deebo Samuel, interesting injury storyline there. Obviously, San Fran, big market. Deebo, ton of hype. Monitor that injury. Missed week 8 with a hamstring. Hamstrings are tricky, man. He's now returned to practice, though. He's good to go. There you go. He's back. Keenan Allen. When is he ever coming back? So Keenan Allen's a hamstring guy that he suffered a hamstring injury back in week 1. Here we are going to week 10. Dear God, it says he's unlikely to go for week 10 against the 49ers defense. So I got to go check the injury status of the 49ers secondary, but they're going to throw it. The Chargers are throwing the ball at one of the highest rates in the NFL in neutral game script situations and positive game script situations. They're just throwing it to Austin Eckler. unless they absolutely have to throw it to like Josh Palmer, DeAndre Carter, one of their tight ends, Gerald Everett, is getting quite a bit of run. Mike Williams is Mike Williams is on. Oh, he's week to week. He's unlikely to suit up this week, but Mike Williams is currently week to week. So monitor that. Darren Waller has suited up. Hamstring injury since week 5. Limited practice sessions ahead of Jacksonville this week. Remains to be seen if he'll suit up in week 10 against the Colts. David Njoku should be back, right? He sat out week 8, ankle. He told reporters earlier this week he hopes to play Sunday against the Dolphins, fresh off signing that massive extension. He has performed well this season, 34 receptions, 418 yards in 7 games. So the other notable inactive players for week 10, Carson Wentz, IR injured reserve, Breece Hall done for the season. Rashad Bateman now on injured reserve. That foot, Michael Thomas still on injured reserve. Jamar Chase now moved to injured reserve. Cameron Brate still out with that head and neck injury, which actually I was looking at the stock of Cade Otton on eBay, and there's actually quite a bit of demand. I'll probably have to just end up paying market value. It'll be interesting to see if he continues to get those red zone looks from Brady, but not a whole lot of product out for him. He does have a scorecard. He does have certified. He's got some Leaf and Sage stuff. But I mean, check that out. I mean, like for a tight end, dude, that's a big price tag. $43 for a certified signatures, 149 out of 149. I was just telling Carter, I like the matching serial number there. $43 plus $425 shipping. Definitely an interesting. Like it's going to be hard to buy it now. You would want to list it immediately if it was an investment card. For me, it would be a lot of like personal collection value. That's an odd picture. I feel like that's how I feel right now. I feel like that's how I feel right now. The way Cade Otton looks in this picture. But yeah, man. Let's see. So we talked about Justin Fields. Jeff Wilson. Did you guys check out Jeff Wilson? Jeff Wilson's got an interesting market, right? So if you ever were curious about how many cards and what cards are available for a player, just come over here to www.tcdb.com, tradingcarddatabase.com, sort by football, right? And then type in Jeff Wilson Jr. If I remember correctly, like they're I actually already looked them up. 34 different cards total. This is total in existence. Total 34 different cards made for the cat. 2019, 2020, 2021. So we go to his rookie year here, 2019. You got what? The majority of his cards, 14. 14 of those 24 are from his rookie year, and they're all from Unparalleled, which, you know, it's kind of like that's one of the only sets that George Kittle has as well. So we got to come over because obviously now he's part of that Mike McDaniel system from 49ers. Kind of makes sense, right? And he's also Miami started the game rotating running backs by drive. Raheem Mostert taking the first and third drives while Wilson took the second and fourth. The third drive was the team's 2-minute drill. Mostert started the fifth drive, but Wilson took his place midway through. Wilson played more snaps than Mostert on the fifth, sixth, and seventh drives. And this was pretty much a shootout game. Mostert played every snap on the eighth drive when the Dolphins tried to run out the clock, but Mostert lost 1 yard on 2 carries, and the offense passed on third down. Jeff Wilson took the 3 snaps in victory formation. Wilson looked better as both a rusher and receiver. Both backs ran the ball 9 times. Wilson gained 51 yards while Mostert only 26. Jeff Wilson also caught 3 passes for 21 yards while Mostert did not record a single catch. They both scored touchdowns. It wouldn't be surprising, though, to see Wilson start next week. So it looks like a 50-50 split, but it could be interesting. I think obviously Mike McDaniel is going to go with whoever's got the hot hand there. Mostert, it's got a little bit more straight line speed for sure than Jeff Wilson. But I think it's so interesting to look at these guys that have super low numbers of rookie cards made, because you always will find some pretty significant prices as a result. And it's a good case study. It's a good case study. Well, Astrals, parallels. I don't even think there's anything autographed. Here's an unparalleled 2046 out of 150. So you could see the boost in value he got from the trade, and now it's right back down to just a couple bucks. Not a crazy demand there. We talked about Odell Beckham. Do we talk about Terrace Marshall on the Carolina Panthers? He gained over 50 receiving yards for a second straight game and scored the first touchdown of his career. So the reason why he's an interesting investment is the same reason why DJ Moore is an interesting investment right now. This is more longer term. This is going to be for the draft hype cycle of next year. Sure, you can maybe get these small singular game performance spikes, but really I'm looking to get Terrace Marshall and bank on the fact that they're going to draft a Bryce Young or CJ Stroud or Will Levy's next draft with one of the top 5 picks, and then all of a sudden you're getting an instant hype spike. If he continues operating firmly as their wide receiver 2, maybe he has some nice little performance spikes down the road in this season. But ultimately what that's doing is just building up his resume to say, hey, I can produce at the NFL level. I can command targets. I can separate. I can squeeze the football. I could generate yards after the catch. You can throw me the ball. You can see there's definitely been an increase in demand for him. This is significant right here. Flawless, Emerald, elite brand, right? Super rare, but still $220. That's significant. That's significant, man. So clearly there is some elevated demand for him the past couple weeks. Obviously not enough to really sell any lower end stuff or any type of significant money. But he makes it right there, November 8th. That's today, man. This rookie ticket auto is numbered out of 15. Pulsar, someone got it out the door for under $30. That's a great deal. Guy you want to look at buying low into right now as a stash. The Panthers also have a top 10 schedule for fantasy wide receivers over the rest of the season during the fantasy playoffs. That's important from a performance aspect, allowing Terrace Marshall to go out and exceed his current expectations. And that just puts those notches in his resume, man, for when it comes draft time next year. People will look at that and say, okay, man, Terrace Marshall could be a huge benefactor as soon as that new quarterback is drafted. That's the bet that I'm wanting to make there. Hey, man, don't forget about Hayden Hurst, Cincinnati Bengals. I know we talked about the Bengals quickly earlier as part of the Jamar Chase injury news, but Hayden Hurst is quietly putting up a very, very solid top 12 tight end season. And he's going to be very relevant. Could have some pretty significant spike games here down the stretch, November, December. So that's my roundup, guys. That's my roundup. I don't even know. I lost the window where the stream was at. Totally lost it. This has been missing Steve. We got to get Steve on here later in the week. And I see what you did there, Derek. I see what you did. You let the bots in, man. You let the bots in. Oh, man. All right, guys. You know what I want to shout out? Got to shout out Underdog Fantasy, right? They're not a true sponsor of the show, but we are affiliated with them. So with promo code Quest, you do get a 100% instant deposit bonus, and we got so close to hitting our pick'em slips this past week. It was super plus EV, but just didn't quite string all the parlays together to get that massive grand prize. But all in all, we're doing good. We're looking to bounce back. Hit really hard on DraftKings this past week with a top 15 finish in that NFL 5K slant. So that was awesome. I'm playing the Millie Maker plus like a bunch of other tournaments this week. We're looking to keep that going. I shipped out 4 cards on Monday too. So what was it? Shipped out a Nyheim Hines, Mark Andrews. Yeah, surprisingly, I sold a Mark Andrews card last night. I thought that was interesting. If you have your phone on silent and you have the eBay app on, the notifications, you hear the little cha-ching, and I'm like, oh boy, you know what that means when you hear that sound. You go over and grab the phone, you see it's the eBay. It's the sound it makes when you sell something on eBay. It's kind of fun. Turn those notifications on for eBay. I'm sure if you guys are serious on the quest, you got those notifications on. So some favorite early pick'ems this week on Underdog Fantasy. Like I mentioned, promo code Quest gets you 100% instant deposit bonus up to $100. No slow drip. Like, you get it instantly right away, guys. You can put in as little as 10, you get 10. You can put up 100, get 100. It's a win-win, man. Win-win. You come in here and put in a pick'em slip. We do these every week. I'm going to share with you guys some of my favorite early looks. Like right now, I'm going to go ahead and look at the Bucs line playing Seattle Seahawks in Germany on Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. I'm going to take the over on virtually all of these, any and all of these lines. You can't do a stack from. Appreciate that, Derek. Appreciate Derek for the super chat. He says, bring back Steve the Howitzer. Derek wants Steve the Howitzer back in the house. He sent me a screenshot, so he didn't bail out on us. He's not quitting the show. He actually texted me. Tell everyone Trey Lance third leg howitzer. Dude, are you guys DMing back and forth in the Discord? So no, his internet was just broken. They were supposed to fix it earlier, they didn't fix it. So he will be back. Him and I are going to do a stream later in this week because we want to do, now that we're halfway through the season, we really want to do this segment, this bit tonight, looking at the teams that really failed to live up to expectations that we think could potentially second half of the season make a really strong push and turn it around, and the teams that really overperformed the first half of the season and really are going to tank now in the second half, which means you want to sell now, and the other teams you want to buy now. So Tampa Bay, Seattle, Sunday morning. So we're going to have him back. I know I'm bouncing around, guys. I'm like ADD at midnight right now. Without Steve to keep me in line here. Cool. I'll definitely hit you up there, Josh. Cool, man. Definitely. Favorite lines right now, early Tom Brady. So just want to hit, like, obviously don't want to hit it over on all these guys because chances of them hitting the over on all of them are not likely, but definitely if Tom Brady goes over 275, right? He's going to bring one of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin with them. I went Chris Godwin's over last week, barely missed it. Mike Evans should hit over every week. I don't know why Mike Evans has been dropping passes that he normally doesn't drop. Driving me crazy there with some of these drop passes. Scotty Miller got hit in the face and dropped a touchdown pass. And it's like, dear God, I was literally, there was parts of that game I was like, I don't even know why I'm watching this. It was hard to watch. Leonard Fournette over. That's a pretty easy. 67.5 rushing plus receiving. These lines will change as the week goes on. That's why it's important to come in here and put some slips in early, right? So if Tom Brady goes over, we know the Seattle Seahawks offense is playing very efficient as well. You've got a 238.5 passing yard line from Geno Smith. That's easy. If Tom Brady's going over, you're painting the picture here on how the game's going to play out. Geno Smith is going over. Who do you want to bring with them? Well, you're going to bring DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett. I would actually tend to lean towards the under on this game, just because if it turns into a shootout, right? Kenneth Walker is not getting a ton of receiving work, and also the Bucs' run defense most of the time is pretty good. So I would lean towards the under on this Kenneth Walker 79.5. That's a pretty significant line. So I would lean towards the under on this Kenneth Walker line here, and then bring one of these guys in. And we're already at 5. Like, we're at 4 now. So honestly, you could get rid of one of these Bucs guys. You don't have to, you don't have to do all of them, right? But you can put together a maximum of 5. You can take the insurance. So if you take the insurance, you can miss 1 and still win 1.5. So let's put 5 together here. So let's say Geno goes over. Let's say he takes Lockett with him. Lockett goes over 62.5. He's got the lower line. You put in 5. That's a payout of 100 without the insurance. You do the insurance, you can get 1 wrong and still get 2.5x. You still get 10x if you get all of them right. I don't go for the insurance because it's like, go big or go home, right? But I can't tell you. You could look at my results. There's been a lot of slips that I have gotten just 1 wrong on. So there's always that. But I love that targeting that matchup right there. And then they also release second half props. So they'll release new props at halftime, and you can bet the second half after watching the first half and after getting a good idea of the game. Oh my God, I'm thirsty. All right, guys. I hope to see you in the Discord. I'll see you back on the channel tomorrow. We've got a lot more content coming out this week. Stay tuned. I hope to see you guys there. Peace. Appreciate you.